Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. The topic which we are going to study today is fraction. We all have studied fraction from a very small age, and there is a very popular example for explaining fraction, that is a pizza. Once the pizza is drawn and they are made some pieces, we understand that the explanation of fraction is there. So fraction is very closely related to pizza. So first we'll understand what is fraction, which we already know. A fraction is also a number, but fraction does not have only one number, it has more than one number. Okay, so the fraction is simply a way to show a part of the whole. Suppose there is a whole and we divide them into certain parts. So this is one part of this whole. So this is what is fraction. So we have divided this circle into how many parts? 8 parts, right? Out of that, if this part is removed, so how many parts are removed? One part out of 8. Okay, so what will be the fraction here? How do we understand? As I told you, fraction is the part from the whole. It has two numbers. First is the numerator and the next is the denominator. When the numerator is written at the top, denominator is the number written at the bottom, and there is a line dividing both the numbers. So when in this case 1 is the numerator and 8 is the denominator, 8 is the total, and out of that one part is being deducted, so we will write 1. So 1 out of 8, this is what is fraction. This is a part from the whole. So now fraction consists of numerator, denominator, and there is a division sign in between. Okay, now every time it's not necessary that you have a fraction like this only. So for that we need to understand various types of fractions. So the next, now after we understand what is fraction, we need to understand the types of fraction. Okay, so there are basically three types of fraction. First is proper fraction, second is improper fraction, and the last is mixed fraction. So depending upon the name, it is, I think, a little clear, and we all have studied this many a times. Proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. Now what is proper fraction? In proper fraction, we need to remember that the numerator is less and denominator is more. So if I say 3 upon 7, so the denominator is more than the numerator. So I can say denominator is more than the numerator. So this is called as proper fraction. Okay, because this is possible. From 7 parts we can remove 3 parts. Improper fraction, that is which is not actually possible, but it has to be converted into mixed fraction. So now if I just reverse these numbers, here 7 upon 3. So is it possible to remove 7 parts out of 3 parts? Not possible, right? So in improper fractions, the numerator is greater than the denominator. This is called as improper fraction. It is exact opposite of proper fraction. And in the mixed fraction is a combination of a whole number plus a proper fraction. So how do we write a mixed fraction? It is, if I say write this in mixed fraction, I will write it like this. I will explain how do we convert this, but this is a mixed fraction. It has a whole number, as I told you, and a proper fraction. This is a proper fraction. 1 by 3 is a proper fraction and this is a whole number. So in proper fraction, denominator is greater than the numerator. In improper fraction, numerator is greater than the denominator. And in mixed fraction, we have a whole number and a proper fraction. So this is what is types of fractions. Okay, now proper fractions, they need not to be changed. When we get our answers in proper fraction, they remain as it is. But when you solve fractions, suppose you do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division of fractions like we do for the whole numbers, so you cannot leave the answer in improper fractions. So for that time you need to convert your answers into mixed fractions. So now how do we do that? Simply divide. What I did here, I just divided 7 and 3. 3 2s are 6, and what is the remainder? 1. So denominator does not change. The denominator is as it is. Whatever is the quotient, it comes here, and the remainder comes up. So 2 1 by 3. This is what I get when I convert 7 by 3 into mixed fraction. So I hope you're clear how to convert improper fraction into mixed fraction. Basically just divide them. You will get a quotient and a remainder. Just put them, quotient is a whole number, so we keep it as a whole, and remainder is a left out piece, so we keep it in the numerator. Okay, so this is how we convert improper fraction into mixed fraction. On the other hand, if now they have given you mixed fraction and now they tell you convert them into improper fraction, so I will convert this example only and show you. So basically there we did division, here we'll do multiplication, right? Here we did division and subtraction, right? So here opposite, we'll do multiplication and addition. So here we'll do multiply and here we put the sign of addition. So we multiply these two numbers first. As you know, we multiply first and then we add. So 3 2s are 6. So we do 3 into 2 plus 1. Denominator remains as it is. So this becomes 7 upon 3. So we again got our answer in improper fraction, right? So now this is how you convert improper to mixed and mixed to improper. Just vice versa. Here we divide and here we are doing, in division we do subtraction. Here we do multiplication and addition. So this is how do we convert improper to mixed and mixed to improper. Now we will convert fractions into percentages. How do we convert fraction into percentage? Okay, so how do we do that? As I have explained, fractions are numerator and denominator. So whenever you want to find a percentage, what do we normally do? We multiply by 100. So whatever is the fraction, suppose I take the fraction as 3 by 5. I will multiply by 100 and then simply find the answer. How much is it? 60%. So to convert fraction into percentage, we simply multiply by 100. Fraction can be converted to decimal also. Now how do we convert into decimal? Fractions you divide and you can convert into decimal. Suppose it's 3 by 5. You can convert it into decimal by dividing, or you have already found out percentage. From percentage also you can find the decimal. That in detail will be explained in the percentage and the decimal video. Okay, so now just understand that when we multiply fraction by 100, we get percentages. Now what do we do next is equivalent fractions. What is equivalent fraction? As the name suggests, equivalent. What is the meaning of the word equivalent? Equivalent, doesn't it mean equal? Right, equivalent means something which is equal. So now numerator and denominator of all the fractions will not be same, but the fraction we will say that they are equivalent fraction. And why will we say that? Just I will give you some examples. Let's take up some fractions. Okay, so these are some fractions which we are taking. So I have taken 5 fractions, right? So you have 5 fractions. They are not exactly same, right? The numerator and the denominator are not same for all the fractions. But if I say they all are equivalent fractions, how do we understand that? Very simple. These all fractions are not reduced to its lowest term, right? The first fraction is reduced to its lowest term. So if I reduce this, what do I get? 3 by 5. If I reduce this, what am I getting? Again 3 by 5. If I reduce, again 3 by 5. If 5 3s are and 5 5s are, again 3 by 5. So when I reduce all these fractions, what do I actually get? After reducing them all, again my answer is 3 by 5. So the numerators and denominators are not the same exactly, but when I reduce it, I get the same fraction as 3 by 5. So I say that all these fractions are equivalent fractions, because when we reduce them, we are getting the same fraction. So these fractions are called equivalent fractions. The way we perform calculations on whole numbers, the same way we also perform calculations on fractions. Basic calculations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. As we perform all these operations on whole numbers, now we will perform all these operations with fractions. So let's take up one example first for addition. So this is 3 upon 5 plus 4 by 9. Okay. So how do I add them? First thing, can I just add them directly? No. First we observe the denominator. For addition and subtraction, we need to have the denominator same. Then only you add the numerator. You don't add the denominator. You only add the numerator. But for adding the numerator, you need to confirm first if the denominator is same. Here in this fractions, it's not the same. Here the denominator is 5 and here it is 9. So what are we supposed to do? First we will get the denominator same and then we will perform the addition. So now we will get the denominator same. How do we do that? We just multiply them with each other. If I multiply here by 9 and if I multiply here by 5, will I get the same number in the denominator? Yes, obviously. So when you multiply something to the denominator, the same thing is to be multiplied to the numerator also. And here also, if I multiply something to the denominator, I have to multiply the same thing to the numerator. Always, whatever you multiply to the denominator has to be multiplied to the numerator. So what do I get here? It's 27 upon 45 and here it's 20 upon 45. Now if you check, the denominator is same. Now if the denominator is same, can we add the numerator? Yes, obviously. So now if I add the numerator, what do I get? It's 47 upon 45. As I told you, we add only the numerators and not the denominator. What's after that? Is this a proper fraction or an improper fraction? This is an improper fraction. So as I told you before, we cannot leave the answer in improper fraction. So we need to convert this into mixed fraction. How do we do that? We simply divide. So 45 ones are 45 and what is the remainder? 2. As I told you, the denominator does not change. It is 45. The quotient is the whole number. We write it in the place of the whole number. And the remainder is the numerator. So this is the answer for this addition. Now next we will do the subtraction part. Next we are taking up, if you take up any number and do the subtraction, I'll show you one example for subtraction also. Okay, let's consider the same example for subtraction also. Instead of this addition, we will do subtraction. So again we will get, I'm just writing this step directly, 27 upon 45 minus 20 upon 45. So directly just subtract the numerator only. So what do I get? 7 upon 45. So after subtraction, is it a proper fraction? Yes. So you keep it as it is, no need to change anything. Okay. And for multiplication and division also, if we take up two numbers, that is 3 upon 8 multiplied by 4 upon 7. Simply in multiplication, we don't have to check the numerator if they are same or not. Whatever is getting cancelled out, we cancel out that first. Suppose this 4 ones are and 4 twos are. Anything else? No. 3 is cannot be cancelled and 7 cannot be cancelled also. They both are prime numbers. Anything else? No, nothing. So we now simply multiply the numerator with the numerator, that is 3 upon denominator into denominator. 2 into 7 is 14. Yes, you can simply do this also, or first you can also multiply this. 3 4s are, multiply the numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator, and then you can reduce this and find this, but this is easier. So first only if you reduce, there is no point of working again. First only reduce and write, or you write multiply and then reduce. The answer will be the same. There will be no change in the answer, because as I reduce this, 4 3s are and 4 14s are, I get the same answer. So it's up to you whether you first reduce and then write, or further you first multiply and then reduce. Let's take up the same example for division. So if there is division, we cannot cancel out directly. So when you have division, you need to convert this division sign into multiplication so that we can cancel or multiply, right? So to make this sign multiply, what do? There is a step to be followed. The first fraction will remain as it is. To change this sign from division to multiplication, then we need to take the reciprocal of the second fraction. Reciprocal means you change the numerator to denominator and denominator to numerator. So this becomes 7 upon 4. Now try cancelling anything. Is it possible? I don't think. So we'll just multiply 21 upon 32, right? So this is again a proper fraction, so we can keep it as it is. So we performed all the arithmetic calculations with fractions here. Now not necessary every time you have a fraction it will be a proper fraction, right? It can also be a mixed fraction. So now how to perform the operations on mixed fraction? If you get a mixed fraction, there is an easy way to perform the operation, same operations, but I will just show addition, one example with addition. This is 2 1 by 2 plus 3 1 by 4. So how do you add this two mixed fractions? Very easy. First step, add the whole numbers. First step is add the whole numbers. Second step is add fractions, these two fractions. And third step, add the whole number answer plus the answer of fraction. Simple. So we will follow the steps. First step, as I told, add the whole numbers. 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3. What do I get? 5. Second step, add the fractions. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. As I told you, fractions should have the same denominator, but here the denominator is not same. So we will get it same. So we'll multiply this by 2. No need to multiply anything here because this is already 4. So we'll get 2 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So what will be the answer? We add the numerator and we get 3 by 4. And the final step, add the answer of the whole number and the fraction. These two answers you add. So 5 plus 3 by 4, which is equals to 5 3 by 4. Okay. So this is the answer in fractions. Okay. So this is a mixed fraction. Now I hope you have understood how to do calculations with mixed fraction also. If any doubts, please comment below. I will solve your doubts as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this and stay tuned for the next video.